Hey everyone, Game Informer released a ton of new gameplay for Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. I just wanted to kind of summarize all the new stuff that we learned about the game. A lot of people have been asking me a ton of questions in the comments about certain specific details, and I wanted to address those here. Now that I've seen a lot more of the gameplay in action, I also did a video called Dragon Quest VII Reimagined Huge Vocation Update and how the new moonlighting system changes everything. I'm not going to go into details on the moonlighting system all that much in this video. If you want to hear more about that, check out my previous video. I also talked about interviews with the producer, the developers, and the scenario writers of the game in that video as well. So be sure to check that one out at the end of the video if you haven't yet. Anyways, if you enjoy Dragon Quest or JRPG content like news, reviews, top 10 videos, podcasts, all that good stuff, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn notifications to all. You can also hype the video. It helps the channel out so much. Now let's get into all the details and takeaways from this new gameplay that was just released yesterday. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to focus on, this is something people have been asking me a ton, and I didn't want to give them a clear answer because I wasn't sure until now, but the combat in Dragon Quest VII Reimagined is very similar to Dragon Quest XI's combat style, where you select what you're going to do with each character right before their turn, instead of selecting it for everyone, then letting that combat turn play out. I don't know if there's going to be an option to do the classic style, or the kind of what I'm going to dub the modern style of combat. I'm not too sure. We haven't seen that yet. I'd imagine they won't, because Dragon Quest XI, you can only play that classic style if you were playing in 2D mode. Another thing is that it does not seem to show the turn order in battles. That's another big question people have been asking me, and it does not appear as if it shows turn order in combat, for better or for worse. I kind of like being able to see that. It allows you to kind of plan and strategize a little bit better, but what can you do? Characters are on screen during attacks in combat. I don't know why this is always a problem for a lot of people. I think it's just people that grew up playing Final Fantasy maybe, and other JRPGs where like the characters kind of have the side view or whatever, and you can see them attack in battle. This is going to show the animations of the characters attacking the monsters in battle, so that's going to be all in there. I think Dragon Quest VIII was like the first one that really had that, but yeah, it's going to be here in Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. So for those of you that actually bothers, fret not, it is here. Obviously, the battles can be sped up like in the HD 2D remakes, and I think Dragon Quest XI, or at least 11S, had this as well. It's got the 3 different speeds. You've got normal, you've got fast, and then you've got ultra fast, or whatever they're called. Shows you enemy weaknesses while selecting your attacks. I'm unsure if this is toggleable or not. I would assume it is, because it is in the HD 2D remakes. I kind of like experimenting and finding out what moves are super effective against each individual enemy, but at the same time, for those of you who are wanting to kind of speed the game up a bit, this probably isn't a bad thing to have. I mean, I can't even count how many battles I've spent just like trying out all the moves on the monsters to see which ones are super effective against which monsters. This will speed that up. You'll just know right away what moves to use on them. So up to you. I imagine it'll be toggleable. Another thing I have to mention is this game looks absolutely gorgeous in motion. It looks phenomenal. The characters, monsters, town, and world all look absolutely amazing. Honestly, I think the monsters look the best they've ever looked in this game. Even better than they looked in Dragon Quest XI, and I loved how they looked in Dragon Quest XI. As soon as I saw the flying carpet world traversal, it brought me right back to the PS1 original. Those of you might remember the 3DS remake felt fairly closed in with kind of the open zones and the camera being zoomed so far into the characters. This makes me want to go out and re-explore this amazing world. As you progress through the story, as you kind of see in the gameplay footage, you will obtain the flying carpet. This is something that appears in a few of the Dragon Quest games. I think 5. I want to say 6 as well, but I know you get the flying bed in 6. I don't know if that replaces the flying carpet. It's been a little while since I played 6, but 7 to me was the best in terms of like exploring the massive world with the flying carpet, and they really did a good job of doing this world justice. You can see from the gameplay here where they're exploring and traversing the overworld. I love it because the flying carpet adds so much freedom to your movement on the overworld. Of course, it speeds up the traversal of the world, but I just love how the camera's zoomed out. You can see more of the world that you're exploring as you explore it. I did not like that in the 3DS version. It just seemed a little bit claustrophobic almost. This really makes me want to explore this world that I love so much. That's a good thing because as you progress this game, you're going to be unlocking like new islands and countries to explore. So exploration is a huge part of the Dragon Quest series, and Dragon Quest VII is one of the games that really does it best. So it was important to me that they nailed the overworld and the travel with the magic carpet, and it looks like they absolutely did here. And I just want to mention something that you probably already noticed from watching the gameplay, but they did add sparkly spots to the world map. So that's going to be really cool and just encourage people to explore the world map even more than they already do. Now to dabble in a little information that we learned about the vocation and moonlighting system. It is much easier to track vocation levels now with it having like a circle that goes around each vocation that fills up as you level them. Once the circle fills, you'll gain a star or level up towards mastery of that vocation. For those of you that remember, your quote-unquote levels in each vocation are determined by how many stars it has. I think it goes 8 and then it gets mastered, or 7 and then the 8th one means you've mastered the vocation. I can't quite remember. Remind me down in the comments. You're going to be able to actually track how much you've progressed towards the next star or level in each vocation, which is going to be really nice because especially on like the PS1 version, it was kind of frustrating. You didn't even know if you were gaining vocation experience at times, but this, it looks like you're going to get feedback immediately. You're going to be able to kind of track each level on each vocation. Another big thing that's going to speed things up without taking anything away from the game is you can change vocations on the fly. You no longer have to go back to Dharma Temple or All Trades Abbey to change vocations. Considering the moonlighting system will be allowing you to be 2 vocations or job classes at once, this is a huge help that's going to streamline the game in a good way. It's going to be so nice to be able to just change vocations on the fly and not have to zoom back to All Trades Abbey or Dharma Temple every single time you want to change vocations. So that's going to be super, super nice. Another nice thing with the vocations is you can see the spells and abilities you got access to on each vocation, as well as how your stats will change on the fly, making it easier to choose and strategize which vocations you're wanting to use together on all your characters. So you're going to be able to know what spells and abilities you'll have access to if you were to switch to that vocation. It's going to make it a lot easier to just like synergize with not only the 2 vocations that you'll have on each character, but with the other characters together. It's going to be nice to be able to kind of better synergize that way, because there's not going to be much of a point if you have all the characters having this access to the same abilities, right? You'll want each character to be able to kind of complement each other and mix and match what works best for the party in battle. And the final thing that they mentioned but did not show for obvious reasons is that there is a lot of post-game bosses and content in this game. So that's really, really good to hear. It makes you wonder how many of the quote-unquote cut scenarios are going to be like post-game or optional side quests. They have mentioned that some of the smaller stories will be added as side content and not mandatory to do in order to complete the game. So this is going to be nice for those of us who are wanting to experience kind of the full original experience of Dragon Quest VII. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of summary of what we all learned from the new gameplay that was revealed by Game Informer. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite new detail or takeaway from this gameplay is, and is there anything else you're hoping to still see from the game? If you enjoyed this and you're looking forward to more Dragon Quest videos, please remember to like, subscribe, turn notifications to all, and hype the video. It helps out so much. If you want to support the channel, feel free to click that join button and become a channel member. I do put the odd video up a little bit early for some channel members. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.